just under a decade ago, I had almost 50 pounds excess weight on me, and for a number of reasons, I really wanted to lose that weight. So I went and joined the gym. That was my first thought, to go join the gym, work with a trainer. My trainer was awesome. She helped me get stronger. There were so many benefits I was getting from working out. And I did start to lose some weight, but I really got to the point where I was really reaching my goals when I changed my eating habits, my nutrition, as well as my mindset. It was those two things, my relationship with food, I should say. Those were the two things that really got me to my goals. I still work out regularly. That's more to maintain strength, and it's for my mental. But as far as my weight goes, it's nutrition that is the huge piece of that. And so this workshop is about resetting our mindset. And to that end, if we think about it, there's so much that we are going through on a day-to-day basis, so much information coming at us, and we are sometimes disconnected, body from mind. So we want to kind of bring it back together and get more mindful about our nutrition and about our eating habits. And so that's kind of what we're going to touch on today. Now, a lot of people really were excited about my salad workshop, which is on Saturday, and I hope you'll join that too. It's going to be totally different. That's more of like the what. And we're going to do some of the what today too. We're going to do a little cooking thing in this workshop as well, but this one is even more important because it's the why. It is the piece that if we just go into what we need to do, it's not likely to stick if we don't make sure that our mind is right with our as far as our mindset about nutrition. So we're going to get started we're going to take a couple of box breaths, and this is one of many ways that we can get grounded, where we get more connected into our body, brain. And so what we're going to do is we're going to inhale for 4 counts. We'll hold our breath for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts. We're going to do it 2 times. This is a technique that's used a lot for people who are dealing with a lot of stress, trauma. Navy SEALs use this to get grounded and release some stress. So let's do it together on my count. We're going to inhale for 4. In through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Okay, good. So that was helpful for me too. I'm gonna talk really fast and animated, and it's good for me to bring myself back to myself as well. So there are 4 takeaways that I want you guys to get from this workshop. 4 things. We'll review it at the end, but I'm gonna use some good stories to help drive the points home, and as well as we're going to actually do some exercises together as well. So the first thing that I want us to recognize together is that I'm going to say something that is kind of maybe surprising or maybe controversial, but this is what I want to say. Cake is the most honest food in the grocery store. Cake. Why do I say that? Because cake presents itself as cake. It's honest. It says, look, I'm cake. I'm a party. Come eat me, right? Versus if you're at the grocery store and you go, most grocery stores have a health food aisle where they have protein shakes, energy bars, protein bars, and the wording on the packaging is very sexy. It's very attractive. It's like presenting itself like it's really healthy, right? But if you turn it around and look at the ingredients, by and large, I'm not saying every single item in the grocery store, but most of the items on the shelves at the grocery stores are ultra processed, and they have a lot of ingredients in there that we don't even recognize what they are. They're not really necessarily food items. And then a lot of times there's a lot of sugar. There's sugar where sugar should not be. And so that is all to say that diets don't work. Okay, and this is lesson 1. If any of you guys have ever done a diet, well, I'll use myself as an example. Way back when I wanted to go on a diet, this is what I would do. I would say, okay, I'm going to go on a diet. It's 30 days or it's 60 days or whatever. During this time, I'm not going to eat all these things that I like to eat. So in preparation for this diet, I am going to eat all those things in excess. Like I'm going to eat a whole weekend of cheat meals, right? Because I'm going on a diet. Now, during the diet, I am depriving myself and I really want this food. I want these things that I'm missing, that I'm cutting out of my diet. So I'm suffering and I'm depriving myself. Deprivation is aggravation, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but if you tell me that's something that I really want, I can't have it. I want it more. And I'm going to drive that point home with a story. But anyways, then, so halfway through the diet, here's what I'm doing. I'm making my plan for when this diet is over. I'm going to have this meal and that thing and the other thing that I couldn't have during the diet. So what do I do as soon as I complete the diet? If I got through the whole 30 days, I went back to what I was doing before because I missed it so. And so the weight that I might have lost during those 30 to 60 days is coming back, and probably with a vengeance, probably even more so than before. Does that resonate at all with you guys? Have you guys experienced that at all with diets? Do you agree diets don't work? Yes. Yeah, I see some head nodding. Good. Diets do not work. So that is kind of point one. And to drive that point home, let me just tell you a story. Imagine me with 6 years old, 7 years old, with two little curly ponytails on my head. My mom was very obsessed with health food. Which is great, it's not a bad thing. But she was kind of militant with us, with my sister and I. And so she never let us have candy. If we wanted candy, she would buy us sugar-free candy. Do you guys remember sugar-free candy? Like there were these little hard candies. Disgusting, so gross. But that's what we could have if we wanted candy. And so there was a very rare occasion that we could have candy or gum. For me, I'm a gum girl. And so this is what I did at age 6 to 7 years old. You know, on the street, on the sidewalk, there's these little black spots. And if you don't know what they are, if you've never seen it before, just imagine on the sidewalk, little black spots in just sporadic areas. On a hot day, if you step on it, you'll realize that is gum. I got a stick and I did like this and I ate that. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. On a regular basis. And it was good because I wanted that gum. So deprivation leads to aggravation. Diets don't work. That's lesson one. That's a true story. I'm embarrassed to tell you, but you know, I was a little kid. I didn't know better. I would never do that now. Some of my friends that know that story will tease me if we're walking down the street and they see that. They go, Avi, do you want some gum? Okay, so lesson two is, I'm going to say something else that is kind of controversial, and I want to tell you another story. And so how many of you guys have done emotional eating, where you're feeling, you know, a certain way? Maybe you're feeling sad, you're feeling lonely, you just had a breakup, you're stressed, whatever, and you eat based on that feeling. How about all of 2020? All of 2020 for me? So emotional eating is something that we tend to do. And the thing that I want us to realize and recognize is that emotional eating is actually a good thing, but we just have to kind of flip it around in our minds. And so here's what I mean. If we eat because we're sad, then most likely we're going to eat something in excess, and it doesn't feel good to eat too much of something, right? And we're going to not feel good about that decision. It feels good in the moment, okay? But afterwards, we're not going to feel good about that decision, physically or emotionally, right? So, but what if we eat for how we want to feel? If I want to feel energized, if I want to feel, you know, good and light on my feet and like I'm working towards my goals, then I'm going to make different choices. So I'm saying eat emotionally, eat for how you want to feel. The story on this note is with a woman that I used to work with when I was a trainer at the gym. she had a lot of weight to lose, and she was doing great in her workouts. But with all of the people that I worked with as a trainer, of course, we always had to talk about nutrition, because that is the number one thing that people have challenges with. They could be on time to their workouts and put in the work, but if they can't get the diet or the nutrition dialed in, they're not going to get to their goals. So one day we were working out, and she said to me, I can eat a dinner plate full of rice, and I don't know why. I don't need to eat that much rice, but I just can't seem to stop eating it. And she got really upset. She ran into the locker room. I followed her, of course. And I asked her, tried to comfort her. And I asked her, Sakina, what do you feel when you're eating that rice? Like, what is the feeling? What is driving you to do that? And she said, it feels like a big hug. It feels like support. It feels like love. And I've never felt like that in my life. Sorry. It still moves me, because she had never connected before the emotion to what she was doing that was harming her. And so once she was able to answer that question honestly and recognize where that was coming from, then she could address that issue instead of using food as therapy, actually getting real therapy. So emotional eating is very important for us to really kind of take it apart, look at it, and change the narrative around. So that's lesson 2. Okay, moving on. Lesson 3. This is what I asked you guys to bring a peanut M&Ms for. So why don't you call Izzy out here, because Izzy wanted to be part of this. So peanut M&Ms were maybe the only candy that my mom would once in a while let us have. Like if we had a movie day or something like that, she justified that, well, there's peanuts in there, so I guess. So peanut M&Ms, I thought this would be a good example of how we can take home this lesson number 3. And so what I want you to do is I don't know about you guys, but when you eat candies, like say you're at the movies or whatever, are you eating one at a time, or are you eating like a couple at a time, and or handfuls at a time? Anybody? Come over here, Izzy, go have a seat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take one peanut M&M, we're gonna put it in our mouth. We're not gonna chew it, we're just gonna put it in our mouth. Am I gonna do this with us? Okay, just roll it around in your mouth. One M&M. Roll it around in your mouth. I'm gonna start getting this pan hot. Roll it around in your mouth and just notice the flavor. What's the initial flavor? This is Izzy, by the way, you guys. I don't know if you can see him, but
sugary.
Sugary, okay.
Yeah, like unnatural sugar.
Unnatural. Good point. It's unnatural sugar flavor. Okay. Once the sugar starts, we feel the texture. It's a little bit bumpy as it dissolves. Okay. Once the sugar shell melts away, then what do you feel? What do you taste?
Chocolate.
You taste chocolate? If you've had really good chocolate, you might say, well, that doesn't really taste like chocolate. It tastes like candy bar chocolate, right? It's kind of nostalgic. You can melt some of the chocolate in your mouth and then go ahead and start chewing it up. And what do you think? Good?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It is good. Not gonna lie. The point of that exercise is how many of us eat really fast or eat mindlessly. A lot of times we're rushing. Sometimes I do it too. I will leave with my food into my car and I'm just eating really fast. We're eating mindlessly. The idea here is for lesson 3 is to savor the flavor. Was that a good experience?
Yeah.
Do you usually eat faster than that?
Yeah.
And you don't pay attention that much?
Mm-hmm.
But if you eat slower, then you're probably going to eat less. Isn't that true?
Mm-hmm. It's better when you eat it slower because you can taste each layer.
Nice. Yes, I agree. It is better. And so Micah and I, my oldest, he is a major foodie. Once in a while, we go to our favorite sushi restaurant and we have a practice where we agree that we're going to eat very slow. We're going to savor the flavor because it's too expensive for us to eat very often. And this place that we go to, it has these amazing flavor combinations. And so if you are next to us at the table, you will be embarrassed because we're both going, like we're going off on it because it's so delicious. But and we cleanse our palate in between bites. And I said to Micah last time we did this, I said, Micah, what if we ate all of our food like this? What if we slowed down and savored all of our food like this? And so here are 3 ways to do this, to change our eating habits. This is lesson 3, and it's just lesson 3 is about savoring the flavor. If we're used to eating out, as most restaurants are serving like a double portion, they're serving 3 times the amount that we should be eating. If our body's used to that, then that's what we're used to. We need to cut down our portion sizes. So what we can do is we can start off with a big glass of water. Drink a big glass of water before you start eating. Slow down during the eating process. Savor the flavor. Think about how it feels in your mouth. Think about the textures. Think about the flavors. And maybe most importantly, stop when you're about 75% full. Because if you are in the habit of eating fast, most likely you're overeating. Because what happens is our body has hormones, leptin and ghrelin. There are 2 hormones. One is the hunger hormone, one is the satiety hormone. One tells us when we're full, one tells us when we're hungry. And if we're eating really fast, our body is not going to catch up quick enough. So by the time we feel full, we're actually over full. Have you had that experience where you're like, oh, I ate too much? It's not because you meant to, it's just that your body couldn't keep up with you. So stop at 75% full. So lesson 3 is savor the flavor. Drink a glass of water, savor the flavor, stop when you're 75% full. Last lesson is our actual workshop. This is the what. This is what most people are interested in, the what. You know, there's a whole bunch of information out there about what we should be eating. And so there's no lack of information. But meal prepping is a little bit different. Sometimes people get overwhelmed. Sometimes people think that it's going to be so hard to meal prep all of my meals. I don't want to take all the time. But what I want to show you guys is that we can actually make a lot of meals in a short period of time. Oh, Scarlett. Hi, Scarlett. I'm so glad you're here. So what I'm doing is I have my pan already heated up. Izzy was supposed to start a timer for us because I said we're going to do this in less than 15 minutes. I have my pan already heated up, and that's just for convenience sake. If you have electric stove, it takes longer for pan to heat up. I have gas, so it heats up really fast, but just to keep us all here, close to here, I'm using avocado oil because avocado oil has a very high smoke point. And so we can, grab me a knife, 15 minutes, okay, grab me a knife quickly. I'm gonna get embarrassed right now if I don't pull this up. Okay, so what I told you guys to do is to just get some already chopped up vegetables. It's really easy to do it that way, but I wanted to add some onions to this because I love onions. And so I'm really putting myself under the gun right here. But I promised you 5 meals in 15 minutes or less. So I have my hot pan. I'm just gonna add some purple onions into the pan. Good, that's the sound I wanna hear. And then I'm gonna add, what I have here is just leftover from my salad that I made. And it's napa cabbage and kale, which are hearty enough greens that we can cook. So I'm giving a few seconds on the onions so they don't have that raw flavor. I want them to cook a little bit. Now, next I'm gonna add a couple handfuls of the lettuces. If you guys are doing this with me, go ahead and do it at the same time, okay? The vegetables cook pretty fast. I'm making a whole layer on the bottom of the pan. What I like to do is have vegetables at every turn in every meal. So instead of just having a meal of eggs, what we're having a breakfast of eggs. We're calling it rancheras. Egg rancheras with lots of vegetables. Okay, so use any vegetables that you have. Let them get heated up. Now, most jarred foods are ultra processed. Just look at the label. This is from Trader Joe's. This is actually one of the few things that I will buy already made because all it has in it is tomato, yellow chili pepper, salt, vinegar, onion, and garlic powder. That's it. There's no preservative, no chemicals. I'm gonna pour the whole entire jar in here. And I like the flavor. This is a pretty salty salsa, so we're not gonna add any salt at this point. Now, this has now become like a vegetable stew, basically. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take our eggs. I have my farm fresh eggs here, and I'm gonna crack them right into the pan, right into the stew. So what they're, I have to do it 5 times because these are from the farm, and so the shells are extra hard. They're harder than the shells from the store-bought eggs. Okay, so I'm cracking the eggs right into the stew. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. You guys are making me nervous. 1, 2, 3. What's my time, Micah? 4.
12 minutes.
Oh my goodness. I'm doing amazing. Okay, we got 5 eggs in our nest. Now we're going to cover it. So basically what's going to happen, actually, you know what? One more step I want to do. 2 more steps. I want to break the yolks because I like my egg to be fully cooked. If you want to have a runny yolk, you can leave the yolk how it is. I like my yolks broken. I don't like the runny yolk. So now we're going to cover this for 5 minutes. We're just going to let it go. And so how many minutes do I have left? 11 minutes left. This is going to be done in 5 minutes. So while this is cooking, one point I want to drive home for you guys is this. This is kind of lesson number 5. Meal prep can be easy. It can be fast. It can be enjoyable. We're going to be done with 5 meals in less than 15 minutes, way less than 15 minutes, more like 10 minutes. And so that's kind of the idea and the point of just doing this exercise together, to show you that it doesn't have to take forever. I want to be very upfront and honest with you. It is going to take a significant amount of time to cook all of your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the week. That's what my program is teaching. But if you think about it, when I was cooking every day for my family, if I was just cooking, say, 2 of the 3 meals, that would, say I was cooking 1 meal, that would take me about 2 hours. From the chopping, the cooking, and the cleanup, it would be about 2 hours per day. And say I only did that 5 days a week, that's 10 hours, right? Say I did that for 2 meals out of the 3. That's 20 hours a week I'm spending in the kitchen. What I'm telling you is that you can cook all of your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a very efficient way through this program that I have in 5 to 6 hours. It sounds like a lot, but it's overall, you're saving a ton of time. So I'm just gonna take a peek. Sounds like it's almost done. Yep, it's almost done. What's that?
How high do you have your heat?
Well, I have it on pretty high because it's an electric stove and I wanted to make sure that it was high enough. But if I was doing this on gas, I would have it on a medium heat. Are you cooking with me right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. So do you have gas or electric?
Electric.
Okay. Yeah, so with electric, you know that the pan takes longer to heat up, a lot longer. And so I don't know if you noticed, but I turned this on way before we started this process.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but it's okay.
Okay, yeah. So any electric stove, you gotta preheat the pan for a good 10 minutes usually. It takes a while. I guess it depends on what kind of electric stove you have, but it takes a while for electric, much longer than for gas. So, let's see. So this is how it works, you guys, as far as my program goes. I'm doing this workshop to kind of just give an example of how the program works. And so on Wednesday, I send out the plan. That's the meal plan plus the grocery list. You decide whether you want to do your, your prep work on Sunday, Saturday, Monday. I have a meal prep business and I cook anywhere from 150 to 180 meals on one day. It's on Monday. So I know that you can cook 15 to 30, depending on how many people you're cooking for yourself, and do it efficiently and do it with ease. So you get the list on Wednesday. On Thursday, you get a recorded video of me, not going through the whole prep, but just giving you tips specific to that meal plan. I'll do a few certain things that we'll do together. And then on Friday, we have a Q&A, a live Q&A on a Zoom like this, where you can ask any questions. If you need to have swap outs, like I don't like this, or I'm allergic to this, what can I use instead? And then you do your meal prep on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. The things that make it unique are, for one thing, you're never eating processed foods anymore. So you can be making all of your own sauces and dressings, which is what I do for my meal prep clients. All of our salad dressings and sauces are made by me. What's the time, babe? It's done.
You're at 7 minutes.
It's done with 7 minutes to spare. Yes. So we make all of our own sauces and dressings. That's one of the most unique items about this program. And you know, sometimes people will do meal prep, but they have kind of a boring thing going on, and then so they want to dress it up, right? They want to add sauces and condiments. And so most of those things at the grocery store are just junk. And so then we put junk on our food that we prepared. And instead, we're adding, where we have made it ourselves, we have control over the ingredients. And so instead, we're adding food on top of our food. Get it? Micah, are you claiming that for yourself? Okay. And so also unique to this is the time aspect. We're saving time, as opposed to cooking every night and spending, 10 to 20 hours in the kitchen per week. We're spending 6 hours. That's including the shopping, that's including the cleanup. Oops, sorry, baby. Can you move, please? I'm blocking my board. Also, we're eating healthy, gourmet comfort food versus eating takeout or quote unquote healthy frozen food. We're eating our own healthy, gourmet comfort food. Okay, all packaged up, done and done with time to spare. What else? We have a variety. It's not plain. It's not sustainable if you go on most meal prep plans and they say, okay, make ground turkey, make chicken, and make broccoli and sweet potatoes and eat that all week. That's not sustainable. It's super boring. We need variety, right? So we have variety with this plan. You do not need any fancy tools. Fortunately, I was raised very poor, and the main utensils in my kitchen were forks. My parents just cooked with forks. So with my business, I didn't even buy a food processor until I was consistently making like 80 meals a week. And my friends were like, why did you not have a food processor? I was like, I don't know. So you don't need fancy tools. What I'm going to show you is very basic. It's going to be, you shop where you shop, use what you have. You're building up your immune system via your gut health. It's the most important thing we can be doing for ourselves right now is improving our immune system. Masks, yes. Distance, yes. But our immune system is our number one defense against disease. And most of our immune system lives in our gut. So 70 to 80% of the immune system is in the gut. So when we're eating whole foods and a variety of plants and not ultra processed foods, we are benefiting ourselves in that way. And we're learning life skills. Unfortunately, this is not taught in school. I wish it was, but a lot of people have not learned how to batch cook, meal prep, or cook at all. And it's unfortunate, but these are life skills. And so when we do that, we are teaching ourselves, and we're also, if we have kids, we're teaching our kids or grandkids. And lastly, we're taking the overwhelm out of the equation. So a lot of people who even do know how to cook are like, I don't want to meal prep because it's just overwhelming. I can show you, I can guide you, because I'm doing that times, I'm in multiples. I'm doing what I'm going to be teaching you how to do every week. So that's what my program is about. So If you guys want to sign up, you can visit my website, and that's mamaav.com, M-A-M-A-A-V like Victor I. Or if you need more information, you want to ask some more questions, let's get on a phone call. You can email me, or you can respond to however you got the information, if I sent it to you via email or via Facebook Messenger, Instagram. If you guys are not following me already on social media, please do, because I put a lot of inspiration out on social media as well to help people get and stay into a healthy mindset and nutrition. And that is so the review, you guys, 4 takeaways. Diets don't work. Deprivation leads to aggravation. Diets don't work. What was number 2? Emotional eating is good. Emotional eating is good. Connect to the emotion. Figure out why we're doing that. And let's eat for how we want to feel versus eating because of how we feel. 3, savor the flavor. Take your time. Drink some water first. Eat slowly. Stop when you're 75% full. And 4, meal prep can be easy. We demonstrated that with our 10 minutes or less. We got 5 meals here. These will all be gone by tomorrow for sure. But we have some delicious farm fresh eggs and over vegetables, a really healthy meal that we made in such a short period of time. So what do you think? Amazing? If the only thing you take away from this is one thing, it's that meal prep can be easy. It can be fun. It can be efficient. It can save you time. You just need a guide and the tools to do that. And Mama Avi would love to be your guide. So what do you think? Do you guys have any questions? Chandra says thank you. Okay, awesome. So she had to go already. Oh, she's still here? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh yes, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know it's midweek, and how did we do on time? I wanted to keep this under 45 minutes, and I apologize if I went over, but oh, good, wow. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really loved having you. I was thinking that maybe nobody would show up and I would just record anyways, but it really makes a difference for me to be able to have interaction with you guys. It's really nice. So thank you.
Bye.
Okay, you guys.